Got vision and destiny. Add elemental, that's chemistry. All those heroes, that's infinity. It's endgame. That's
Yugi peoples, welcome to the commentary. So yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Been doing quite a bit, just haven't been uploading my dual videos and such and everything because of equipment issues. But yeah, we back on it, and as you can see, well, probably not as you can see, but if you look at my hand, you can see, such as Super Poly and Crosskeeper. We are playing Arm Neos Shaddoll deck. It is going second deck, so I did allow my opponent to go first, and as you can see, he is on Snake Eyes. I was trying to remember if he was on Snake Eye Fire King or just pure Snake Eyes. Okay, now you see the Jet Synchron. He is on pure Snake Eyes. And yeah, so, this was, I think I was a couple duels in with this. I think the first time I played Arm Neos, I tried using the Horus package. And then I switched it up to the Shaddoll package, and it performed a whole lot better. Yeah, it was freaking awesome. So yeah, you can see my opponent ends on what I consider to probably be a typical Fire King inboard. And people might ask why I'm playing a going second deck and playing going second cards without all the hand traps when the hand traps or things. But from my experience, everybody has their own experience with their own luck. And in my experience, just like board breakers work better for me than hand traps. I always tend to draw a hand trap as my 6th card, and it always ends up being horrible. It's just, yeah. So we were playing, this going second deck with the idea of either I'm going to OTK my opponent with Arm Neos, or I'm going to attack with Arm Neos, destroy a monster, and summon Cosmos Neos during their main phase and keep them from activating cards. And yeah, so that's pretty much my game plan. If I get drolled or something like that, it'll be fine. I'll just what's the other thing? I'll just if I get drolled, yeah, hopefully I just open up Neos Fusion, kind of like how we used to just open up Fusion Destiny sometimes when you get drolled with Mhero. And I just felt like Neos Fusion was better because I'm going to keep my opponent from being able to play in the game at all next turn. So yeah, so as you can see right now, he's got Baron out there that he made with the Formula Synchron. He still got IP with double Snake Eye monsters, and he's going to go ahead and link those people off into the Apo. And as you can see, I am playing Blaze Man, and it's mostly because of that end shuffle I'm playing off inside of there. So yeah, he's going to go ahead and activate, it looked like Valor on my Blaze Man when I try to add the whatchamacallit, when I try to add the Poly. And now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go ahead and Super Poly. Will go ahead and Super Poly, trying to decide what to discard. I end up discarding the Neos, unfortunately. And yeah, so now we'll go make the Mud Dragon using his Baron and Appaloosa, summon the Vion. He's going to go fetch Liquid Soldier and Polymerization. And this will pretty much be all she wrote for this game. I was trying to decide whether it was a good or bad idea to keep summoning, like, because of Nib. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and grab the Neos Fusion there just in case we need that. We're going to go ahead and activate the Polymerization, because if he does end up nibbing me, I'm still going to Neos Fusion, destroy the nib with the Arm Neos, and he'll still be locked out of it. But I just wanted to make sure I get enough damage in order to be able to go for game here. So we saved the Neos Fusion, saved the Miracle Fusion, and we'll just be able to go for game right here. We're going to draw 2 with our Liquid Soldier, put 1 back. So we have Miracle Fusion, we have the whatchamacallit. We dropped the Aerial with the Liquid Soldier effect, so we get to banish 3 of his cards. And just as expected, down comes the nib. Kind of saw that one coming there. Well, necessarily didn't see it coming, but we definitely would not going to play into that, which is a little bit easier with this deck. So yeah, like I said, now we get nibbed. We still have the Neos Fusion and the Miracle Fusion, so we'll still have a couple plays here. We're going to go ahead and Miracle Fusion here, And I'm trying to remember if this was before or after I fixed my extra deck. My extra deck is kind of crazy because I noticed also, and one of the things that I didn't have a true instant fusion target. So that kind of sucked. We go Miracle Fusion into our Wake Up, and then we're going to Neos Fusion into our Armed Neos. One of the other things, I was using Dark Arm Dragon off in here. I was like very situational in case the chance happened that I would, be able to special summon him by having 3 darks in the graveyard. It never came up. But yeah, that is what it is. But then you'll see I go ahead and use my end shuffle to get an extra draw there. I drew did I draw 5 cards this time? Discarded 1 and put 1 back. So yeah, the end shuffle allowed for a 5th card to draw. So we saw quite a bit of the deck. Going to attack the Nibiru with our Arm Neos. And he'll get that effect to where I can special summon a monster during my opponent's main phase. He goes ahead and summons the Snake Eye Ash, activate his effect. We chain Arm Neos effect, tribute him to special summon Cosmo Neos. My opponent cannot activate cards in response to this card's activation, and they cannot activate cards for the duration of their turn. So yeah, it's just like a quick way to bring out Cosmo Neos without using the without using all the Neospacians and stuff inside of the deck. So it feels pretty decent. But yeah, he goes ahead, he has a couple monsters out there on the board, but it's not going to make a difference. Go ahead and switch that Nib token into attack position because it's got a ton of attack. He's gonna switch that out into the Link Karibo. We're going to try to attack over that, and yeah, it's just pretty much going to be game with the Nib token that we have there. The thing is absolutely gargantuan, and yeah, we easily take game 1 due to Super Poly against Snake Eye Ash. So the only thing that's kind of sucks about going second decks is if you don't draw that going second card, there's not much you can do. But I mean, I guess the same thing can be said for hand traps. If you don't draw 2 hand traps, then you're probably just losing. So yeah, going into this next game, even though my opponent is aware of the Super Poly, I feel like it's still best to just leave it in. I'm not going to switch into hand traps against this deck. I do have hand traps in my side deck, such as Droll and Ghost Spell maybe, but against those certain decks where they have like some kind of OTK type crazy thing where I would just need hand traps in order to be able to interact with them when they're taking their first turn. So yeah, that's pretty much what they're in there for. But the deck is pretty much made to beat the Fire King decks, with the Shaddoll Fusion and, Super Poly and stuff. So didn't really feel the need to side and do a lot of stuff there. As you can see, we opened up the Super Poly again. The deck is, I believe, 41 or 42 cards. I'm not sure, but yeah. So now back to watching my opponent play Solitary, and I'm pretty sure he's a really good duelist. So inside the back of his mind, I know he's thinking I need to play around Super Poly. So I'm pretty sure his inboard ends up being able to play around Super Poly. One of the things that's was bad is I don't have the Cyburst Fusion monster, the Earth Ignister thing or something like that inside of my extra deck because I lost it, couldn't find it. So yeah, and as you can see, his inboard ends up being the looks like the Atlantis monster. He's also got the Snake Eyes person. He's got the Appaloosa out there. I mean, not Appaloosa, he's got IP out there with 2 back row. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a Hero Lives to special summon Stratos. He is going to use the Snake Eye thing to special summon his, I believe it's Snake Eye Ash, it looks like. It's going to start adding things and doing things. And yeah, they're just trying to look for, the good moment to be able to Super Poly. We go ahead and normal summon out our Vion. We're going to use Vion's effect to send a hero from deck to grave. It is, of course, our boy Shadow Mist. Sorry for the glare over there on that side. This is like one of the few spots where I can record at and there's no glare on the actual field. So I guess we'll have to put up with the glare from the graveyard there, but it's all good. So yeah, he brought out Appaloosa. I do believe it had like 3 on it, and he also activated Summon Limit. So we are in quite the bad predicament here, seeing as how we already summoned twice, and I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and chain this Super Poly here according to the summon limit, or I'm not sure how the whole chain thing resolves. Like, or do I think the thing is like, even if I do activate the Super Poly, then nothing is actually strong enough to attack over the Appaloosa. So, it's probably better for me to hold it and wait for next turn to be able to, use it as a defensive card. So in the battle phase, use Stratos to attack into the Populace, which is gaining attack because of the field spell. So yeah, that was pretty much the only monster that he could attack and get over. We're gonna set the Super Poly and hope that we are able to survive and have another turn. Since he does have the summon limit in play, I feel like, there is a chance that we could survive. He's going to go ahead and summon the Nightmare Griffin. It's going to trigger my Super Poly, and we're going to make Big Chill because we have a Mhero, and that Zelantis monster is a water monster. So we're able to make out Big Chill. And what was it we were trying to decide? Oh, we had to go back to look to see if, because the Nightmare Griffin was co-linked when it first got summoned, if he would actually be able to draw a card. And I do believe the ruling was, yeah, as you can see, he could go ahead and draw a card because it was co-linked when he first special summoned it. So, I guess that is what it is. But we do have Big Chill out on the board. He's already used, did he just use one of his summons? I think just one. And yeah, he ends up using Promethean Princess to pop it, unfortunately. So yeah, now back to my turn, trying to decide if there's a play that I can make to be able to get rid of the summon limit. We're just gonna activate the polymerization, and he's going to imperm on my what's his name, on my Sunrise, so that I can't go get the Miracle Fusion. But he goes ahead and use was it the field spell, maybe, I think, to allow him to special summon Populace out to the board. And yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and have that Neos Fusion there. We're going to use it to go ahead and special summon out our Armed Neos. And I do think that I was trying to decide if I wanted to use the effect. Nope, that is, oh yeah, he's got the he uses the Princess to try to pop my Armed Neos. But because it has Elemental Hero Neos in the fusion materials, we're able to use Neos Fusion to protect it. That's one of the better things I like about that, is that, you can't use Neos Fusion to protect against the Princess pop. So, that's just how it is. We go ahead and end shuffle, draw into Thrust. We're going to use Thrust to go ahead and use Tactics to go ahead and take the Tactics from my deck. And, despite all this is going on, I think somehow I still managed to lose this game. Yeah, so we go ahead and use Armed Neos to attack into the Princess. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Mhero in its card text, so yeah. So we can't what is it? We can't what is it? Oh, we can't destroy a card when we go to attack with Armed Neos, but we try to activate the Tactics on him, but he has to cross out Designator, so he crosses out his own Tactics in order to keep us from doing it. He summons the Snake Eye Ash, activates the effect. We're going to go ahead and chain the effect of Armed Neos to special summon out the Cosmo Neos, and we forgot, because I actually used the Neos Fusion to which I usually use to protect the Cosmos Neos to keep from getting shuffled into the deck. The Cosmos Neo should have been destroyed. And we go back and look at it now, and now we realize that the Cosmos Neo should have destroyed all his cards during the end phase of the turn. So we're gonna rewind time here a little bit, put his stuff back onto the board, And yeah, because I didn't have the Neos Fusion in the grave because he tried to use the Princess to pop my arm Neo. So resetting things back a little bit here, and I do believe he'll be able to activate, you know, graveyard effects and such. But yeah, I think like all we end up being able to do instead is attack with the Sunrise. Yeah, I think we were still actually like resolving the whole thing with the Cosmos Neos, trying to see if he could activate graveyard effects and such, because of one of the things I think that would allow him to special summon stuff. So it'll allow him to special summon his 2 Snake Eye monsters, but he won't get their effects. And yeah, so now that all that is resolved and done, yeah, he's tributes one of them for the Link Karibo, and there's Snake Eye Ash, not Snake Eye Ash, but using the Populace to put the what is that thing's name? The dragon guy, whatever his name, to put him into the spell of trap card zone. They'll try to see if there's any super poly targets that I can go into, but there's not. We're gonna go ahead and battle phase. What's the other thing? No, we actually go ahead and super poly off my 2 guys, because then I wouldn't be able to attack into the into the Snake Eye Ash and kill it, because the stupid Link Karibo will decrease my attack. So yeah, we end up going into Draco, not Draco, but Predaplant Draco Sapelli. Is that his name? I think his name, maybe it is Draco Sapelli. All right, so yeah, we have that out on the board, but you know, when I go to use his negate, I think it ends up being really bad, because I think he chains Kieran when I try to negate it or something like that. Or no, he chained the Link Karibo thing. So yeah, that's how I end up blowing this game, which I definitely should have won this game. I just made some play mistakes there near towards the end. And yeah, so as you can see, SP Little Knight comes down, is able to ban my Draco Stapelia, and I think like at this point I'm just kind of like out of resources and such, and the games have actually like taken quite a bit long while here. But you know, I kind of figured that they might be, especially when you're not playing hand traps and you know your opponent's going to be able to go full combo. The first game, I expected, to take a long time, and then, to try to play into breaking their board to decide the best way to do it and such, and for them reading, ARM Neos, Cosmo Neos, and all that stuff. And then, game 2, I figured like their combo would actually take a little bit longer, because if I did activate Super Poly on them, then it's like they're thinking the whole time, like, how do I play around Super Poly? And yeah, so I actually have the Ghost, the Spooky Dogwood inside of the extra deck for such of those things. And yeah, as you can see, as this game just kind of continues, we did Super Poly into something that did absolutely nothing. Summon the Blaze Man, he gets a fake Veilered, and that is the end of game 2. I think there's like only a couple minutes here, so we're gonna side out. Like when we go into game 3s, and I have, stuff like Instant Contact, a Hero Lives, you go ahead and side all those cards out, because, if you do get a turn, you're actually not going to, be activating those cards, because you just automatically losing time. So, if we're, 10 minutes or so, going into game 3, I typically side those cards out, and I try to side in like hand traps that would end my opponent's turn, or hand traps that would, help me gain life points, such as, Spooky Dogwood. That way, either, I gain life points and win the game, or I draw a card that makes them end their turn and I can actually get a turn to play. So yeah, that is just like always one thing to take into consideration, especially since I figure like most combos that my opponent will play, since it's uninterrupted, that he will take 10 to 15 minutes with the combo, trying to plan and do everything out, especially since he's trying to play around Super Poly. So yeah, my opponent, doing typical wanted things, summons the Diabell Star. I wanted to check to see, like what kind of summon it was, because I'm pretty sure if I activate Spooky Dogwood to the activation of this, I kind of just lose the game, because of course he won't special summon like after that, and I'll lose half my life points. There's the Snake Eye Ash summon. He's going to add Populous effect to special summon itself. Go ahead and chain the Spooky Dogwood, and yeah, we go ahead and capture that game in time there. But overall, let me know what y'all think. You know, improvements. Well, I haven't gave y'all the deck list, but yeah, let me know if y'all think that this could actually be a real thing. Actually, no, we'll talk about that during the deck profile. But appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next video.
My wingman, he come through, he level up, he go cool, he shining out and popping to over 9K. That's a breakthrough. We on top now. Here's a look at.